Okay, guys, I'm going to explain you what we created here within Salsa Ventura to keep things as simple as possible for both men and women. Now, what most people don't realize, and it actually strikes me every time I tell people how surprised people are, is mainly when we start dancing, mainly everything we do consists out of only 6 turns. And I know that a lot of guys, they come from their classes and they write down all their notes and they have piles of papers like this, okay? And it was quite a long time ago, I don't actually know the year anymore, but it was quite a long time ago when I went to the dance floor and I found out that I was forgetting everything I knew, okay? I knew I had like 50 or maybe 100 combinations, but the moment I went on the dance floor, I forgot everything. Now I'm sure that some of the guys that hear this will immediately go like, me too, okay? I'm gonna help you out with this, and it takes a little effort, but it's also fun to do. On the other hand, if I ask a question to the ladies, and I give the ladies a choice, and I ask them, ladies, who do you want to dance with? With the man A, that has 1,000 combinations, but makes no contact with you whatsoever, or you want to dance with man B, that gives you a lot of attention. He gives you the feeling that you're special in those 4 or 5 minutes on the dance floor within that song, and he doesn't have a lot of combinations, maybe only 4 or 5. Most ladies, if you give them the choice, will go, give me guy B, because most ladies dance because of the connection. By the way, guys also are looking for that connection, but many times we think that we get it by doing 1,000 turns. Now, since I was forgetting everything, and there are many reasons to tell you why you forget everything, but one of the main reasons is that in a class, you get a lot of auditive instructions. And auditive means that you get the instructions from your teacher, you will see the example, and then you will start practicing. On the dance floor, on a party, it's not like that. First of all, in the class, we have a lot of lights, and on the dance floor, there is no light. Second of all, on the dance floor, women look fantastic, and we are just going straight to the emotional parts of our brain. And that means you cannot connect what I call your database. So here you have your database with your 200 turns, or I usually say your 258 turns, and you cannot access it. Because the moment you enter the party, the lights are down, the music is loud, the women look always fantastic, but even they're more fantastic, and there you are trying to access your database and you cannot get there. Knowing that most ladies will go for the guys with less turns but a lot of connection, then we have a conflict, because what guys are doing on the dance floor is they keep trying to access their database, which is non-accessible at a party. So what I did many years ago, without knowing that this was going to be the result, I just said to myself, wait a minute, what are all those guys actually doing on the dance floor? And the answer is 80%, guys, listen to this, 80% of what the best dancers in the world are doing consists out of only 6 turns. I give you 2 seconds to think about that. 6 turns to build 80% of what the best dancers in the world are doing all the time. Most people will say it's impossible, but I'm going to show you in the next few minutes how it is done, but especially how to create a system in which you only focus on those 6, which gives you a lot of more focus and attention and connection with your partner instead of focusing on your 258 turns. Have fun and start practicing. It's worth it. So guys, we're going to give you some examples, partnering up, how this is done. When you start with your 6-turn pattern system, the first thing I want to show you is that 1 turn can seem like many, many turns. I'm going to give you some example first. We're going to go now, let's say, into a reverse crossbody turn. And a reverse crossbody turn in our system is done like this. Okay? This is what we call the reverse crossbody turn, and we're going to show it to you later as well. Now, if we do the same crossbody turn, the reverse crossbody turn with 2 hands, for many men, it looks totally different. For many men, they will now take their notebook and start writing down option number 2. But there is no end to that, because what happens after that is you will see a reverse crossbody turn like this. Now, you can take your notebook again and start writing down, oh my God, and it takes a lot of time to write this stuff down because it's a little bit different, but it's hard to write it down. Now, let's say he does this, same reverse turn, but now he brings the hand and he catches it here. Oh my God, that's a 4th version of the reverse turn. And it becomes even worse, because that same reverse, you can also do it like this. And this is what happened to me many years ago. I saw all those reverse crossbody turns flying by, and for me they were all different. So I just started writing down and studying each and every one of them, which ended up hundreds of turns. And again, guys, on the dance floor, it's very hard to remember. So what we did, we actually started building a system in which we only take the basic 6 turns. Now, how does it start? First of all, we have the part where we can turn the lady in front of us. Okay, it's very simple. We do a lot of turns here on the spot, but most turns are very simple. It's a single right turn, and it's a single left turn, like this. Now you can say, yeah, but there are many different versions of these. I totally agree. We can also do double turns and double left turns, but in the basic version, those are the two, and they are done hundreds of times all over the world. The single right turn, single left turn. So that's in front of the guys. And it's going to go now to the left side of the guy. So now, if you start looking, what can I do basically with the lady on my left? I can turn her left, and I can turn her to the right side. Do you do a left turn? Yes, of course. It's an inside crossbody turn, which is the most basic version of a left turn traveling from one side to the other on the left side of the guys. So again, this is what we call the inside crossbody turn. That's it. So we can also turn her outside. This is what we call inside because she turns towards the guy, but I can also turn her out. Now, leaving away the instructions, just to show you, when I give her an impulse forward and back, I can now turn her out. And yes, it's true, there are many, many versions of this, but in the basic, this is what we call the outside turn. So 1, 2, 3, and 5, 6, and 7. So what do we have now? We have 2 turns in front of the guy. We have 2 turns on his left, inside and outside, leaving all the other options out, and we have 2 more turns on his right side. So we're going to start. Let's start with what we call the enchufa. The enchufa is a turn that comes from Cuba, and it goes like this. Okay? And if you have followed our entire Beginners 1, 2, 3 program, then you will see that all these turns are part of the system. So I'm stepping back, and this is what we call an enchufa. It originally comes from Cuba. The Cuban dancers do it a lot, enchufas, but it's still being danced a lot on the dance floor. For the lady, this is a turn to her left. Take a look. 1, 2, 3, and 5, 6, 7, and it starts on the right side of the guys. Now, then we go to number 6, and the 6th one is not to the left of the lady, but to the right side of the lady, and this is what we call the reverse crossbody turn. So again, it's a turn for her to the other side, to the right side. 1, 2, we turn her, 5, 6, 7. Now what is nice and interesting for you to know is that the first 4 turns can all be done with the guy stepping forward. Number 5 and 6 guys, you have to step back in order to make them work. Okay, I'm stepping back. Now we have 6 turns only, and we have to add another little system that we created a separate video for, because now you can start playing with different kind of hand positions, of course. But let's focus more on the basic turns, those 6. What we did, we created a beginner's program with only those 2 turns. And it sounds very simple, but this is what we do in Beginners 1. 2 turns only. As you notice, as a guy, I'm not focusing on my own turn. I'm focusing on her turn. And that's basically the secret. For her, it's much more important that you know how to turn her in a nice and gentle way than that you start turning yourself. Of course, in Beginners 1, I'm also turning myself. And in Beginners 1, I'm also turning to my left. I can do all that stuff, but it's more important in the beginning that you know how to turn her. So Beginners 1, 2 turns over there. Beginners 2, you will find in our program turning her on this side, doing many, many different kind of options, and also doing the outside turn. Okay? And indeed, as you can guess, in the 3rd Beginners 3 level, and that's why we have 3 beginners levels, we do the enchufa, and we also do the reverse crossbody turn. Yes, in many different versions. Okay? So, guys, start with this. Look at the other video, which we call the 7 ways of holding hands, and we will make the whole structure complete. Because in the end, you only need to know one more thing, and then you have the 3-step plan. You have the 6 turns, you have 7 ways of holding each other's hands, and you have 3 ways to turn her. You can put your hand up, on the shoulder height, or down. Start with the 6 turns, and we see you back in the other videos.